Hey everybody, happy Father's Day. This is my dad. See how much we look alike? You can definitely see it. Alright, so for Father's Day I figured I would interview a professional father. He's been doing this for almost 22 years. I think 21 and a half?
Yeah.
22? I don't know, I don't do math, I'm an English major. So let's get started, shall we?
Alright.
So, first question. Describe what it's like to be a dad.
It's a huge responsibility. At the same time, it's probably the biggest blessing of all. I remember not wanting kids a long time ago, and the moment the doctor handed me Alyssa, I fell in love, and from then on, I love children.
Thank goodness. Alright. So, what is one of the challenges of fatherhood?
One of the challenges of fatherhood is there are no instructions. You're learning as you go. You start out as a teenager yourself, seeing one side of the issue, and then you become a parent and you have to see the other side of the issue. And not only do you have to see the other side of the issue, this child is very important to you, and you have to figure out what works, what doesn't work. You have to figure out how to parent, and as different ages come by, you have to change how you're parenting. Your job in life is to take this child who is 100% dependent on you to eventually 100% being able to stand on their own 2 feet. And your job is to make that a smooth transition. It's not smooth.
And what is your favorite thing about it?
My favorite is you end up with this child that is, it's your I hate to use a big word. It's your prodigy. It is your it's what you make. It's a man and woman come together, fall in love. They have a child that was produced from that relationship as a child who will eventually grow up and continue what you learned from your parents. And they'll pass on the things that you learned from your parents, and they learn from their parents, and it's kind of a neat thing to pass those things on.
Alright. And last question, what advice do you have for future or new fathers?
To be a parent, you have to be highly adaptive. They don't come with instructions, but my biggest instruction to you is listen to the wise. Listen to those who have been there before. I know when you're a teenager and you're a kid, you think, well, when I have kids, I'll do it right. And what you find out is your kids were more right, or your parents were more right than you realized. I thought my parents weren't all that smart when I was 13 years old. I became 20-something and discovered they were pretty smart. Listen to the wise. Not only are we talking about your parents, listen to your grandparents. One of the best things I ever did, I bought a house next to my grandfather. And every day we spent 10 or 15 minutes out on his swing talking. And that's probably one of the best things I ever did. There is a Bible that is full of instructions. Listen to that. There are people around you who have been there, who have raised children, and they know more than you often realize. The other thing is, be adaptive. Not one parenting skill works the same for every child. With some children, you have to give them more freedom. With other children, you give them freedom, it gets ugly. Every child has to be raised differently with different principles. Not necessarily different principles, but how you apply those principles. Each child responds differently to different types of discipline, and you have to be smart in figuring out what to use. And you have to figure out how to make discipline a loving thing, so that when you discipline, they understand you are doing it for their good, not because you're angry. You have to be doing it because you want them to have a healthy, good life, and you're helping them get ready for that healthy, good life. And so be adaptive and figure out what works with your particular child. And even if you have 5 kids, they're all 5 going to be different. Each one of them you have to raise in a slightly different way. They will see that as unfair, but it's you being adaptive to what works with that child.
So, what do you do besides being a dad?
What
My
do-
dad.
I'm also a chief for a fire department, a battalion chief for a fire department, and I also pastor a church, and that is a pretty busy life.
So you're a church dad.
I'm a church dad.
Thank you for joining me, Dad, on my show.
You're welcome.
My show. Me and Fran's show.
Not
Is
friends.
this a show? I don't know.
Love you, and we believe in you.
Adios. Good job. High five.